Hey YouTube, how's it going?
Hey, sorry we haven't released a video in a while.
Yeah, we've been kind of busy with work and life and a little bit of laziness as well.
But in order to make it up to you, we decided that we're going to start doing movie reviews just so we can release videos on a bi-weekly basis, as well as work on other projects that we have.
But don't think that just because we're going to be doing something a little easier to get on a bi-weekly schedule means that we're going to be slacking.
Oh!
Alright, I like it. I like this background we got going.
Me
on.
too!
Alright.
Hey, why is your shirt different? Huh. Anyway, Kung Fury is the movie we're reviewing.
Woo! If you can't tell, we kind of love this movie.
It is fucking amazing.
It's... Okay, let's explain the plot, if you can call it that, of Kung Fury.
What resembles a plot, you could say.
Okay, basically, Kung Fury is about a cop named Kung Fury, who, on the night that his partner is killed by a Kung Fu master, he gets struck by lightning and bit by a cobra, which gives him super Kung Fu powers, and makes him Kung Fury.
After he beats up an arcade machine, he has to travel back in time and defeat Adolf Hitler, who wants to challenge him and become Kung Fury himself.
Along the way, he is aided by two hot Viking babes, a hacker man named Hacker Man, Thor, the god of thunder, and a cop who is also a Triceratops, named Triceracop.
If you can't tell by the synopsis, the movie is, I guess, silly?
Okay, silly is an understatement.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty stupid.
It's ridiculous.
It is insane, but in the best possible way. Like, okay, here's the best way to word this. And it's gonna sound like I'm insulting the movie. I'm really not. It's like it was written by a 12-year-old.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. Yes.
It's like, oh, okay, there's this cop who gets struck by lightning and bitten by a cobra, and he's called Kung Fury, and he's got Kung Fu superpowers. He fights Hitler, and he travels with Vikings, and he rides a dinosaur, and he fights an arcade machine, and he goes into space at one point. And he fights a bunch of bad guys, and then all of a sudden, a robot bald eagle shows up, and then the dinosaur fights the robot bald eagle.
Which, by the way, we're not making any of this shit up.
No, we're not.
This shit is actually in the movie.
And it's amazing.
Give you a little bit of a backstory behind this film. This film was actually raised by Kickstarter. They were trying to make a feature-length film, but they didn't exactly raise enough money to make a feature-length film. However, they raised just enough money to make a short film that they were able to just put online, which is perfect because if it was any longer, it would just be too much.
The thing I have said for years, really, when it comes to movies, is that, and he's probably even heard me say this,
Probably.
but you don't judge every movie, and this is the problem I have with a lot of critics, is you don't judge every movie based on whether or not it's going to win an Oscar.
And let's just say, if this movie was released in theaters, it would not win any Oscars. It's good that it's about half an hour, which is just as long as it needs to be, to where the fun isn't just killed, and then we're just thinking, oh god, really?
Get it over with now.
Okay, enough goofiness now.
You judge a movie based on what kind of movie it's trying to be, and what it's trying to accomplish. And this movie is trying to essentially be a parody of 80s action movies, of the over-the-top, monotone hero who is like manly and just
doesn't give a shit about anything except justice and violence and killing bad guys.
And is indestructible and can take on just a bunch of people at once.
As dumb as this movie is, you can still tell that the filmmakers worked really hard on it, and you can see the love and the passion in it, and attention to detail. Like, this movie is very much a love letter to the 80s. Ryan and I were born in 89, so we didn't actually live through the 80s, but
We still love the 80s.
we still love the 80s. And it's very much a throwback to the 80s in general. I mean, there's the fucking Power Glove from The Wizard. It's like, it's so bad. It's got all the old 80s action cliches.
Yes.
It's, you know, it looks like an old, like, cop show, and you've got the gruff, the gruff chief captain who's chastising Kung Fury for all the damage he does and not going by the book.
What am I gonna say to the press? You need to follow the rules like everyone else.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't follow the rules. You know nobody else could take care of that arcade machine like me, and you know it.
It's like, it's like, and that whole, he won't take a new partner because he's, you know, I work alone. He's got that gruff voice. It's, and even in, like, things like, it's made to look like an old, just in the filter that they use. Not just in the filter that they use. It's made to look like you're watching it on an old VHS player. Those of us who are old enough to remember,
Like us.
VHS players,
Yes.
the thing about them is the more you watch them, the less quality they have, and
Which would always bug me back then.
yeah, it would.
Yeah.
And it's done to look like the quality isn't great at times. In fact, there's one part in the opening action scene where, like, it actually even fuzzes up like an old VCR would, and then it's like it'll cut out and then it'll cut back, and then he's shooting at the bad guy while hanging on to a helicopter. Then it'll cut out again, and then he's like fighting in space, and then it'll cut out again, and now he's back on the ground and he beat the bad guy. And no explanation how any of that happened. It's just sort of like, oh, okay. In fact, there's a lot of times.
We just accept it.
Yeah, it's like it's so over the top that. And it just so lives in its own unique world that you just accept whatever stupid shit it throws at you. You're just like, sure. In fact, we even said that watching it several times. We're like, oh, okay, he's in space now. Sure, why not? Oh, Hitler just shot a bunch of cops through the phone he was talking to.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Yeah, in this world it happens.
I also want to say real quick that to add to the cheesiness of it all, David Hasselhoff, has he does the soundtrack for it, which makes it even feel even more like it belongs in the 80s.
Watch the music video called True Survivor that goes along with it. It is it's pretty spectacular as well.
Yes, it is.
And he makes a cameo in it. I'm not going to say who he plays, but he makes a cameo. A memorable cameo, I must say.
Yes, very much so. You should be able to tell pretty quickly if this is the kind of movie you'll enjoy or not.
Yes.
I mean, we were talking to a friend about this movie after just watching it the first time we saw it. And we were telling him pretty much everything we were telling you right now. Mm-hmm. And he's just looking at us both like, seriously? You guys are talking like about this like it's a good movie? Like, he even said, like, this sounds stupid. Like, this doesn't sound good. And you know what? I completely understand that. Because it's not going to be for everyone. It's going to be, you know, you just got to enjoy this kind of over-the-top humor.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'm sure half of you are probably listening to what we're saying and thinking, why the fuck would I want to watch this? This does not sound good at all. Like our friend here. But you know what? I think it's very much an acquired taste. If you watch any of our videos, you can probably tell that we love stupid humor. Because, and in fact, that's pretty much all this movie is. It's just stupid humor. So if you love stupid humor, then you're gonna love this. But if you don't, you're probably gonna hate it. Yeah. Obviously, you know, I could pretty much just tell from watching it, not everybody's gonna like this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that's fine, you know. Not everybody has to like the same thing, you know.
Yeah, exactly. As far as criticisms go, I only have two, I guess, I only have two major criticisms. The first one being that at times it can be a little bit like, okay, we get it. At times it can, like, something you said, I think at the beginning of the video, is that, you know, if it was any longer than what it was, like, this was supposed to be a feature-length film, and I feel like I agree with him when he said that if it was any longer, the joke would probably wear out a lot sooner. Like, I think it cuts off at the right time to where it doesn't, for us at least, it didn't feel like, okay, we get it, blah, 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 we get what you're trying to do.
Now.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I guess, we've seen it once before, and then we saw it right before we started filming, just to get a clearer idea of what we were going to talk about. And granted, nothing is as good as the first time you see it. You know, no movie is going to be as good. But the first time we watched it, we were laughing our asses off the entire time. And while we still enjoyed it on the second viewing, it wasn't near as enjoyable. So I feel like if you watched it too many times, it would feel old. It would be like, okay, this isn't funny anymore. So
then it just goes to a bad kind of stupid instead of a good kind of stupid.
Yeah. If this sounds like an enjoyable experience, I think you'll enjoy it. If it doesn't, watch it anyway. Because really, it's only 30 minutes, so you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna waste that much time, and it's free. It's on YouTube.
You can find it, yeah, for free on YouTube, therefore, it's not like you're going to waste any money on it.
Yeah, what do you have to lose? If you really don't like it, just turn it off. It's not like going to a movie theater, and if you hate it, well, already spent $8 to $10 on it, might as well, you know, sit through the rest of this crap. No, it's like, just turn it off.
You just lose a few minutes, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, guys, I think we pretty much said all we needed to say about this, right?
Yes. Thank you so much for continuing to watch our videos and supporting us and what we do.
Thank you.
And we're going to try our best to get back on track and release videos regularly. Like we said earlier, we're going to make this bi-weekly while at the same time still working on little sketches here and there, as well as, and some of you already know this, but as well as working on a little series we have called Ruining Your Childhood, which if you don't know about it, you're just going to have to stay tuned and find out.
Yes. So yeah, as for this series we're doing right now, basically we're right now looking for movies to review, and basically the only requirement is it has to be a movie. It can be a new release, it can be any genre, or it can be something like this, Kung Fury, a 30-minute short film on YouTube. Only requirement is it has to be technically considered a movie.
We are literally open to all suggestions, which is probably pretty dangerous, but we are literally open to all suggestions.
Like, it could even be a porn movie. Like, I'm not even kidding.
I mean, we're definitely going to do a lot of censoring, so it doesn't get, so our video doesn't get taken down from YouTube. But
yeah,
we'll even talk about porn if you really want us to.
So yeah, if you have any movies that you want us to review, just leave a suggestion in the comment section, or if you know us on Facebook or in real life, which the vast majority of you do.
I think maybe 5 of you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
If even that, maybe 3.
Yeah.
2.5.
2.5. Like they're just like the top of their body.
You don't know.
The rest is like cyborg, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, but
I just felt like saying that, but
I for any cyborgs watching, I apologize for my potentially offensive comment. But no, in all seriousness, if you have a movie or movies you want us to watch, let us know any way you can, because we are very much looking for suggestions. We'll even watch movies that we had zero interest in watching to begin with for this.
if you suggest God's Not Dead, we will watch it.
And we don't want to see
We
God's
will
Not Dead.
probably hate it, but we will watch it.
And actually, that brings up a great point, is that if you suggest a movie that you love and we don't like it, we will tell you. So if you don't want us bashing your favorite movie, don't suggest it. If you're really worried about us bashing your favorite movie, don't suggest it, because if we like it, we'll talk good about it. If we don't like it, we're going to talk bad about it. And even if we do like it, we'll probably still, if we find something not to like about it, we'll say something.
Be prepared to hear our honest opinions.
Yes.
But hey, you know what? They're just opinions. You can still,
Exactly.
if we don't like it, if we don't like the movie you suggest, you can still like it. That's
Exactly.
fine. We're not going to say that you shouldn't like it. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for continuing to watch, and
Please continue to watch.
subscribe.
Subscribe, definitely.
Subscribe,
Yes.
like our video, share to all your friends, share to your enemies, share to the homeless person. You know, you all have cell phones, so just be like, hey, homeless person, before I give you money, watch this video.
Share it to the person who's mugging you.
Yeah. Here, take my money, and also watch this video. There you go. I like that. I like that. Okay. Enough goofing around. Take care, y'all. We love you.
Love you.
Love, heart. Mwah.
We need some action. If we're gonna make it like a true survivor, we need some action.